Be preparing for that this coming weekend.
Yeah, like I said, I'm the Mexican monster for a reason. I love the knockouts, and people love to see, a brutal and savage fight. So that's exactly what I'm gonna give them. I feel better when I get a knockout and I stop a person. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. The Mexican monster is gonna keep continuing being the Mexican monster. That's exactly why I went up to the cruiserweight division, because I had all these people ducking me. I was supposed to fight Dmitry Bivol for all the world titles at 175. He couldn't get that fight. I have a lot of respect for all those men, but Beterbiev has been the boogeyman for a long time. So for me being the monster, I gotta go in there and take the boogeyman out.
So we've been waiting our turn in line. You know what I mean? I've been the #1 contender to fight for the belts at 168 and at 175.
Yeah.
So right now, I mean, I could have took a tune-up fight, or I could have took an easy fight. But I said, you know what? Instead of waiting again and again and again and again, I'm gonna go up and try to, there's an opportunity I can fight for 2 belts. So I just take it one fight at a time. Not everything. We think that something's gonna happen after fights, and then it never happens. So I'm gonna just take it one fight at a time. If there's more opportunities at cruiserweight, I'm gonna take those. If we could get a fight immediately with Bivol right after this fight, I'm taking that, because that's what I've been waiting for.
Sometimes you get frustrated, bro.
Yeah.
You get frustrated because you called all of you guys out. You see excuses, and you see excuses here, you see excuses there. Right now it seems like you're just in the place like, hey, man, I feel like I'm the guy, and I just need to continue just proving it, so whoever's in front of me is just gonna get it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where you're
basically. And then I just wanna, I want the fans to be excited for, when I fight. My game plan is, if I could have the next 3 fights just like how I want them, I'd rather Surdo Ramirez, Bivol, and Beterbiev, and Beterbiev.
Right.
I want to go straight into
back to back.
Back to back. I don't want to wait for nothing no more. You know what I mean? I've been professional 13 years.
David Benavidez fires up the boxing world, blasting Bivol and Beterbiev with a bold warning, claiming he's the real monster they've been avoiding in the ring. In an interview with Stephen A., he would never have needed to move up to cruiserweight.
You're taking this fight. Is it because you wanted this fight in this cruiserweight and add the 2 belts to your collection, more so that? Or is it because of the amount of people that have been ducking you through the super middleweight division, light heavyweight, et cetera, et cetera? Which one was it more?
Yeah, that's exactly why I went up to the cruiserweight division, because I had all these people ducking me. I was supposed to fight Dmitry Bivol for all the world titles at 175. He couldn't get that fight.
In the midst of Turki Al-Alshik's push for a Usyk versus Benavidez fight, David Benavidez makes it clear he is not ready to move up to the heavyweight division yet.
Is this him inching his way to becoming a heavyweight, or is it just to grab these belts, go back down to light heavyweight? What's your intent with all of this?
Oh, so, I'm not even thinking about heavyweight right now. I have to give the cruiserweight division the respect it deserves, and I'm coming up here to clean this division out. After these 2 titles, we're going to see, if the other world champions at cruiserweight are willing to fight, and we're just going to be ready to make the biggest and best fights happen. After this, if there's an opportunity to fight Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, that's what we're going to do. Or if there's an opportunity to fight for another belt at cruiserweight, then that's what we're going to do.
Initially, Benavidez plans to drop back to light heavyweight for a clash with Bivol, but also insists a fight with Beterbiev would be a true collision of 2 monsters.
It's the one that, I feel it in my bones. You versus Beterbiev, that's the one that I feel like would be the car crash, and it would be so much fun to watch. Of those, those 3 guys, right? Zurdo right now, Bivol, Beterbiev, which is the one that gets you the most excited? The idea of fighting that guy?
To be honest with you, the one that gets me the most excited is probably Beterbiev, because, it's just 2 monsters coming at a collision course. And that's what people want to see at the end of the day. I feel like I have a lot of respect for all those men, but, Beterbiev has been the boogeyman for a long time.
Once a long-standing rivalry with Canelo Alvarez is finally coming to an end, David Benavidez announces he is ready to move forward, making it clear that many other fighters deserve a shot, and Canelo is not the only option. He stresses that his performances remain the foundation of his career, and the reason fans support him so strongly. Benavidez is now fully focused on hard work and delivering at the highest level, rather than chasing fights that never materialized.
When I said back then that I forgot all about, I'm forgetting all about a Canelo fight, I meant it. I don't think I'm gonna fight Canelo. If it happens, I'll be really surprised.
Yeah.
But I still think it could happen. But That's why, you know what I mean, I'm calling out the other big names. You know, Canelo's not the only fighter there, and I can make an even bigger name for myself once I go through Beterbiev, Bivol, and Artur Ramirez. So this is just for me. I'm always gonna need a person to fight. You know, and Canelo's not the only guy in boxing. You know what I mean? I think with these types of performances I give the people, I think whatever fight I'm gonna be in, they'll enjoy whatever fight.
After a long wait that only added to his frustration, Benavidez now feels he has learned to move on and focus ahead. Following his dominant win over Ramirez, he is now waiting for Beterbiev or Bivol to respond to his callouts. While both fights interest him, his main priority remains Bivol. Having shared sparring rounds in the past, Benavidez believes he already understands how to break him down and is confident he can take control when they finally meet.
12 or 13 years, you know what I mean? Once you get tired of waiting, you know what I mean? And then I feel like I'm in the prime of my career right now, 29 years old.
Right.
I feel good, I'm motivated, I'm ready, I'm hungry, and I want this.
Yeah, so with Bivol, I heard that you sparred him before, right?
I sparred him, yeah.
And Beterbiev too?
I never sparred Beterbiev, but I sparred Bivol.
Yeah, so you already know what's looking like.
Bivol is a good fighter, he's a sharp fighter, super sharp fighter. But the thing I've always said about myself is that once I get in there with a good fighter, a great fighter, I get even better.
Yeah.
Following that stunning performance, the boxing world has been full of praise for Benavidez, with renowned trainer Robert Garcia speaking out and saying the Mexican Monster nickname truly fits him. The name was originally given by Mike Tyson, and according to Garcia, it suits him perfectly. While he expected Benavidez to win, the way he dominated went beyond expectations. Since that moment, Garcia admits his respect and admiration for Benavidez has only grown even stronger.
Fucking Benavidez, man. That fucking, look. That, for some reason, they gave him that name, man. He's a fucking monster.
It was Tyson. It was Tyson that gave him the name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did hear that. Look, I did pick Benavidez to win.
Yes.
But not the way he did, man. That motherfucker. You know, I thought gaining 25 pounds, I thought he'd still be fast, but not. I always said he's not gonna have the same speed. Plus, he's a little heavy. Then the weigh-in, Zurdo looks so much bigger.
With Benavidez setting his targets, fans are split on who he should face next. Some are pushing for Bivol, others want Beterbiev, while a few are even calling for a fight with Hoya Patea. Robert Garcia, however, believes Benavidez already has the right plan in place. He suggests Bivol should come first, followed by Beterbiev, and then a possible clash with Opatea. Still, Garcia doubts that the Apatia fight will happen anytime soon, especially with uncertainty around Zuffa boxing.
Benavidez is the real deal, man. That motherfucker is a monster, bro. I think he's got a couple fights that I would love him to do. Maybe at that same weight, or maybe go down to fight Bivol and Beterbiev, and the other one is what that other cruiserweight that signed with Zuffa.
Jai.
Pattaya.
Oh, Pattaya, yeah.
I don't know if that fight could even be done now that he's with Zuffa and what belts they're gonna fight for, whatever. I don't know. But those are three fights that I would like to see Benavidez take.
But then Garcia drops a bold take, insisting Benavidez will be ready after completing those 3 fights to move up and face Usyk. In his view, even at heavyweight, Benavidez's combination punching, pressure, and durability would still hold up strongly. He believes the skills would translate better than people expect, making it a serious challenge rather than a mismatch. For him, that path builds Benavidez step by step into a fighter capable of testing himself against the very best.
But then after that, he's ready for the heavyweights, man. He's ready to fight Usyk.
He said that he'll let his body decide for the heavyweight. I think like 5 years. But if he does, we know that Andy Ruiz has like some of the, if not the fastest hands in heavyweight. But when it comes to that weight, Benavidez would have the best combination.
Yes, he would.
Following his fight with Zurdo, controversy quickly picked up around an elbow moment, with many claiming it was intentional and played a key role. However, Robert Garcia pushed back strongly on those accusations, saying the narrative has been twisted and blown out of proportion. In his view, Benavidez, true to the Mexican Monster name, broke Ramirez's orbital bone through clean, powerful punches. Garcia insists the finish came from sustained damage and pressure, dismissing the idea that any elbow was the deciding factor.
No, look, when you're in a fight and you're throwing 10 punch combinations, you know, there's there's punches, or sometimes, you know, going, instead of the elbow, you could have hit with this. And is that a slap? Oh, you did it on purpose? You know what I mean? Yeah. Is that a big slap? You know, cause you're fucking so fast that, man, you know, it was just that moment, and that elbow did land, but that's not the cause of him knocking him out. He knocked him out because he fucking landed and I think broke his orbital bone and all that. Put a beating on him.
Regardless of the noise, Benavidez' rise as the Mexican monster has been acknowledged by top voices in boxing. As he continues calling out fighters and revealing possible next steps, Max Kellerman steps into the conversation with a different focus. While fans debate Bivol and Jaio Patea, Max shows greater interest in a clash with Beterbiev. He sees it as a meeting of two dominant forces who thrive under pressure, predicting a brutal, action-packed fight where both men bring relentless intensity from start to finish.
Beterbiev against David Benavidez?
Man, that's a war. That's a beautiful
fight.
Leave the kids at home for that one.
Dude, that's going to be, I'll say it right now, that's going to be one of the greatest slugfests of all in the light heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Arthur showed me I know he can do that
That's
too.
the thing. That's the thing about Beterbiev. He can box.
Yes, he can.
What is it like if you run into a guy who has all the toughness you have and everything and the power, and he can box?
It's just two bad motherfuckers just colliding and trying to fucking get the survivor of the fittest. Who's the
You've been in plenty of those.
Building on that point, Max believes a fight between such powerful fighters ultimately favors the one who is smarter in the ring. Referencing Teddy Atlas, he adds that while Benavidez has clearly shown grit and power, the real edge may lie with Beterbiev's calculated approach. In his view, strength alone will not decide this kind of matchup. It comes down to ring intelligence, decision-making, and who can stay composed under pressure when both fighters are pushing at their limits.
Yeah, you have to be who's the strongest. You can't back down.
Because you know what I believe it's Teddy Atlas. I quoted Teddy on the broadcast too, who said, I spent years talking boxing with Teddy. When two really tough guys meet, you know who's tougher? The smarter one. The smarter one winds up tougher. And as great as Benavidez has looked recently,
this is nice.
Beterbiev is a smart,
He's going to be, what, 41
fighter.
in January?
That's what's bananas.
Stepping into the discussion, Oscar De La Hoya shares his view that Bivol should take on Benavidez, believing it would significantly strengthen his legacy. He explains that facing a dangerous and in-form opponent like Benavidez would add real value to Bivol's resume. In his opinion, a win in that fight would elevate Bivol's standing in boxing and place him even higher in the conversation around dominance and long-term supremacy in the division.
Yeah, I would favor Benavidez.
After the fight, Bivol mentioned, some options for himself. He said, hey, not a problem going to a third fight with Beterbiev. He did mention a Canelo rematch, as well as a fight with David Benavidez. Out of those three, Oscar, to you, what's the most interesting?
Wow. I think Benavidez is very interesting. I think that's a hell of a fight. Wow. I mean, if he's willing to do that, if he's willing to be great and fight Benavidez, my gosh, that would solidify, Bivol's, Hall of Fame career for sure.
As far as choosing a winner goes, De La Hoya leans toward Benavidez, insisting activity gives him a key advantage over Bivol. He points to Benavidez's sharp punching speed and power, along with footwork he believes stands out even at the highest level. What impresses him most is Benavidez's ability to adjust against different styles, something he sees as a major factor. In his view, that adaptability could play a crucial role and give him a real chance in a fight with Bivol.
But look, yeah, he proves to the world that he's the best at 175. So, yeah, I think that's a hell of a fight. That would be a hell of a route to take.
Would you favor him or Benavidez in that?
Well, that's a tough one. That's a tough one because, I mean, I would go with Benavidez because he's more active. He throws more punches. He has better footwork, obviously, than Beterbiev. He's smarter up there. He knows how to think, knows how to adjust. Yeah, I would favor Benavidez.
Meanwhile, as Benavidez continues pushing for a fight with Bivol, the trilogy with Beterbiev still hangs in the balance. Showbiz the Adult argues that the third fight should happen sooner rather than later, pointing out that delaying it only works against Beterbiev with age. He also believes Beterbiev remains a dangerous challenge even if Bivol steps in again. In his view, Bivol would have to climb a mountain to overcome the relentless pressure and power that Beterbiev consistently brings into the ring.
Did Bivol duck David Benavidez? Bivol decides to take on Beterbiev Riyadh season for the 3rd time instead of Benavidez. That is clearly not a duck. Let me count the weight. 1. They are 1 for 1. For Bivol to just run off would be diabolical. Another thing, if Bivol fights Benavidez and not Beterbiev next, that's another year of Beterbiev getting older, further away from his prime. Benavidez is young. Beterbiev is old. So you got time. Don't forget, Beterbiev is scary. Bivol versus Beterbiev is a hard fight for a belt.
In the ongoing debate between Bivol and Beterbiev, discussions around a potential fight grow even louder. Analyst Wade Plemons believes Beterbiev would be an easier task for Benavidez, but Showbiz the Adult strongly disagrees, saying anyone thinking that is underestimating the danger. He explains that Beterbiev is still a serious threat who can trouble Benavidez. However, in his view, Bivol is the most dangerous of all, especially at light heavyweight, where he believes he could give Benavidez a real beating.
Bivol versus Benavidez, who you got in that fight? Shit, I don't know anymore. I used to have Benavidez. I don't know anymore. Bivol, his 2 fights with Beterbiev, he's gotten even better. See, the thing about Bivol is you can be a dog and he just beat you. You can be a dog all you want and he just be whooping your ass. All right, Beterbiev, if you think Beterbiev isn't a dog, then you're smoking dope, right? David Benavidez, I'm seeing punishment on David Benavidez as a light heavyweight, which concerns me a bit against Bivol. Fantastic fighter, great defense, doing great things, very skillful. But I'm seeing shit, and Bivol is just so good that it's like, bruh, my goodness.
The Mexican monster is meanwhile firing back, dismissing the idea that either Beterbiev or Bivol can beat him. He views a fight with Bivol as more than just competition, adding a revenge and legacy angle tied to Canelo, who struggled against the same opponent. Benavidez claims he has even sparred with Bivol before and learned exactly how to deal with him. Taking it further, he boldly states that he believes he has the tools to break Bivol down and potentially knock him out.
It is first before I go to the the main guy, but I think 175 I'm gonna be even more stronger and faster. Yeah, I think Bivol's movement and how he fights and how disciplined he is, I think he has what it takes to be Beterbiev.
Canelo wasn't able to do it, sort of the same thing, Do you think you're the right Mexican to be Bivol down there?
I sparred Bivol a lot, so I know what happens in those sparring sessions, so yeah, I can beat him.
You think you're the guy?
I can knock him out.
And that's where things stand right now. A full storm of opinions, call-outs, and confidence from every direction, with Benavidez right at the center of it all. But the real question is simple. Who actually backs up the talk when the moment arrives? Drop your pick in the comments, tell who you think wins these dream matchups, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more fight breakdowns just like this.